Joining us now on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, brand new Canes team president. That's the Carolina Hurricanes team president, Doug Warf. Doug, thank you for taking time out of your introductory day here to jump on the phone lines with us. We'll start with kind of the basics, right? There's a reshuffling happening in the front office of the Canes. What is your role within the organization going to be?
That's a great question, Tim. We took Don's role and kind of chopped it up into almost three roles now. So Eric Tulsky oversees the hockey side. I'm joining Brian Fork on the business side, and kind of the reason there's two of us is not only are we running the arena and the hockey business side, but we are trying to work forward on the arena redevelopment internally, and then the large, $800 million to $1 billion development externally of the PNC Arena campus.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to bite off, right? Lot to chew up. I guess the one of the reasons why I think you're such an interesting hire is because prior to your time at your most recent job, you spent 16 years working for the Hurricanes in various sales and marketing roles. I guess first question, why did you leave the first time, and then follow up immediately with why is now the right time to come back with all of these crazy things happening?
Yeah, great question. I left after 16 years. I love this team and what it meant to the community. I had gotten kind of pigeonholed, I would say, in like a sports marketing role, and I didn't always see myself that way. I saw myself as a business person, and I wanted that business taste. So I was very fortunate that I had a great opportunity to go be CMO and then president of a local holdings company that has a large outreach and local companies that are here in the Triangle and throughout the Carolinas. But coming back, it was tough to leave where I went. I loved what I was doing. I loved the people I was working with. But what's in front of us right now is pretty amazing. The team's in good spot. I never worked for Tom Dundon. I left before Tom bought the team. His vision here is strong. And I love what we're doing in the arena and around the arena. And when you look at some of these things that we're doing, I keep calling them legacy projects, but if you look at what the arena area redevelopment would be, that's a legacy project. If you look at some of the things that we're trying to go after, like Major League Baseball, and we're making a real push for that, those are things that my daughter will tell her kids about down the line, and it's hard to say no to an opportunity like that.
Doug Warf, Canes team president, brand new, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline here on The Drive. You've brought up some like I said, kind of big fish, right? The baseball team, the development outside the arena, that kind of entertainment district, the in-arena stuff. From kind of a sit down and go standpoint, what's priority number one? What's task number one once you learn where the bathrooms are and hang pictures on the wall?
Yeah, I thankfully remember the bathroom. A lot of other things have changed, but thankfully the bathroom's not. There's some big pieces in play right in front of us, and we lease the building from the Centennial Authority, so there's a lot of this where we are waiting to see how they work through some of these processes. That'll decide how we do internal pieces inside the arena. I think for me, a lot of it's getting caught back up with our corporate partners, getting caught back up with where we are in ticket sales. It's a drastically different world than when I was here 7.5 years ago. And then how can we have that impact on fan experience? The big thing that Tom has pushed both Brian and I with is how do we continue to improve the fan experience? That's not only in-game while you're watching, but also around the concourse, entry into the building, all of those pieces. And taking deep dives into those. I think there are some things that we can hit before the season starts, but I think a lot of the things that we're going to undertake will be things that kind of start in the season and go into next offseason.
Do you have any kind of like fantasy dreams about what might come to either the area right outside the arena or the concourse that one day you hope to implement?
Well, I think, I've grown up in this area. I went to NC State. I've been here 25 years now and have tailgated in these parking lots. And I know what tailgating means.
Nice.
As an NC State grad. But I also know what it's like to travel to other arenas and be able to walk to bars and restaurants and things after you leave an arena. So I think what we're trying to find is that blend. What allows that legacy feel of tailgating to continue while still allowing an entertainment district to live, outside our front door. And when you think about that, when you think about the fact that we can have an arena that hosts the Canes and NC State basketball, a Final Four basketball team, nice plug, Coach Keith, as well as the dominant team that Doran's put at Carter Finley, let's put a 4,000-seat Live Nation venue just outside of that where we can host more concerts on a smaller level or comedy shows on a smaller level. Let's put a sports book. Let's see it with restaurants. Let's see it with housing, with hotels. That's a totally different venue than what we're looking at today, and I think it feels different. And I think the nice part is when this was built, maybe it felt like it was outside the city. And, I live, close to downtown. I get to work in under 15 minutes. This is an easy commute, and it's something that I think our community is used to, and it ties the triangle together. So I think it's the perfect location now for what we're trying to do.
That voice you hear is Doug Warf, the Carolina Hurricanes team president, had his introductory press conference earlier today, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline right now. Doug, I did the typical new hire thing and scrolled back a ways on your Twitter account, and you were tweeting during the Canes postseason run, and I say this complimentarily, as a compliment. You were tweeting like a fan, right? You were reacting to Rod's decision to put Pyotr Kochetkov in net for a game the way the rest of us were, going like, hey, this reminds me of this move, a decade ago. Do you have to turn off that kind of fan part of your brain to be inside the building, or do we now have a fan on the inside?
No, I think you always had a fan on the inside. I just couldn't always show it for 16 years. And I think that's what has helped me some. And I think it's what a lot of our team, our staff are, right? They're fans at heart. We affectionately have a group that I had to leave of Carolina Hurricanes Association of former employees. So I have to leave the Chafe group now to come back into the work world. But we're all fans, and I think that helps us know what a fan thinks like. And I've got to be careful where I cheer and where I yell now, and those types of things. But yeah, the fandom's always been there.
Last one before we let you go. One of your first days in the building, you get to be a part of the group that tells Eric Staal his jersey is going in the rafters. If there is that fan still within, how cool was that? Just being there for that moment.
It was awesome. It really was. And, when I was here for Eric's full career. So I left after he left and was in right before he came in. So I got to see his entire arc here and just what he meant to this franchise. I love that we have so many new fans. I worry that some kind of lose sight of some of the greatness that was here prior. And Eric is one of those that if you still look across the board, stops and points and goals and assists and all these things since relocating to North Carolina. I'm excited that some of our newer fans kind of get to see that. And, you think about it, it's been 14 years since we retired Rod's number. We retired Ron in the 05-06 season. We retired Glenn in the 09 season, and we retired Rod in the 11 season. Four great guys, right, to represent the franchise in the rafters. But some pretty big things happened in those years that we retired numbers. So I think sometimes you see that there are current guys on the roster who might have similar aspirations, and it's cool for them to be able to see that moment in reality. So I'm not only excited for Eric, I'm excited for a lot of the guys that I think might have that potential a few years down the road.
Doug, we appreciate you for taking the time. Like I said at the beginning of our conversation, don't be afraid to tip us off if there's something extra cool coming to the stadium. We like to be in the know.
I will, and one day I want to play the numbers game, and I want to do the Hurricanes edition. I don't hear enough people do the Hurricanes edition, so I want to do that myself one time.
I love it. Anytime. We'll set that up quickly. Doug, we appreciate it, and next time I talk to you, we'll have the numbers game set up for you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tim.